I understand the Holy Spirit kept me from going off, and I understand the Holy Spirit kept me from certain parties. But I didn't know the Holy Spirit would keep you from preaching. Having been kept. Isn't that a weird verse? You've heard this sermon. This is the third time you heard this sermon. Having been kept by I want to blame the devil here. Because everything that I want to happen in my life that doesn't happen, I give the devil credit for it. Every dream that I have that doesn't come true, it's the devil. It's the devil. The devil is more popular than God in most sermons. It's the devil. And it's just nothing but the devil. And the Lord really spoke to me the last time I went down that line of logic. And the sense that I got is he was telling me, stop giving the devil credit for stuff I'm trying to do in your life. And particularly, stop giving the devil credit for the moments where I hold you back. Because Paul was the most brilliant preacher that ever lived. There was nobody better to preach in Asia than Paul. And watch what he says. He said, I wanted to do a good thing. My desire was right. It wasn't out of bad motives. I was trying to strengthen the church. I was trying to build people up in their faith. I was trying to do what I thought God told me to do. And I went to Galatia and God let me. And I went to Phrygia and God left me. But when I tried to go to the border of Mysia and enter Bithynia, watch what it says next. The Spirit of Jesus would not allow them to. What's up with God holding Paul back from preaching the gospel? Why would God send his son and not spare his son? And then Paul goes to try to preach and God says no. So Jesus says, go into all the world and preach the gospel. Paul's like, okay. God says, no, not there. I'm just trying to do what you told me to do. Try again. Maybe we can get in Mysia. Maybe go in Mysia, got to the border. No. And most of us right here, most of us would have gone back home. Because the moment that we make progress and then the progress stops, and I know your wrist is starting to hurt and there will be a reward in heaven and a crown with some big jewels in it when you get done with this sermon, and an ice pack. But see, here's the thing about being a good parent. You really don't know what kind of parent you are until you have to tell your kid no. Yeah? True? Because I play this game with the kids, and I know it's terrible, but sometimes I ask them who would they choose to live with. It's just a game. You look so disturbed, sweetheart. It's just a game. It's not real. It's just a terrible, evil game that I play with my kids. And I used to feel like it was a compliment when they said me, until I realized that the one they would choose to live with is usually the parent who doesn't know how to say no. And you say God is a good father. I like the song too. But is he still good when he says what every good parent has to say every once in a while? No. No, I'm not going to make it easier. No, I'm not going to bring them back into your life. No, I'm not going to take the thing away. See, Paul had experience with this, you understand? Because he had something that he called a thorn in his flesh. Something that he wanted God to take away. Because he thought, I could be so much more effective if it wasn't for this thing that's holding me back. And we all have that thing. And so Paul asked God, take it away. And God said, no. And so Paul came back a second time and he said, pretty please. And God said, no. And he asked him a third time with a cherry on top, and God said, no. The answer is still no. And this is my question. Is he still good when the answer is still no? Or do you have a conditional faith that when God says no, you go home? That when it doesn't happen overnight, and that when you don't see results right away, not only do you quit the gym, but you quit church and you quit praying. And so we tried here and we tried there and God said no. So I guess it must be God's will for us to go back home. But Paul didn't see it that way. Paul knew that just because God says no doesn't mean it's over. And I prophetically proclaim that over someone's life today. I don't know what no you've been told by God, by life, by the doctor, by another person. I don't know what the no is, but I don't have to know what the no is. Here's what I know, because he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. It's not over. It's not over. Show them on the screen. It's not over. In fact, here's what I learned about God. Sometimes when he says no, it's because there's a greater opportunity that I don't know about yet. And God is so good. Help me preach now. I'm closing the message. But this is for somebody who's been told no, and the pain hasn't gone away, and the memory hasn't gone away, and it hasn't gotten easier, and the seas haven't gotten smoother, and it doesn't seem to be changing in your situation. But God came to give you strength in your spirit. It's not over. Just because God said no doesn't mean he's left you alone. He is with you in the no like he was with you in the yes. He's a good father. He knows what's on the other side of no. So don't go home. Don't go home just because God said no. Oh, but I'm trying so hard. And I asked God, and I told my e-group leader, I guess it wasn't meant to be. I guess it wasn't meant for me. Paul said, no. Let's go to Troas. Is that verse 8? And when they went to Troas, they passed by Mysia. That's where Paul wanted to go. Go ahead. And God wouldn't let him, so they had to pass by. Sometimes you have to pass by your plans to get to God's purpose. Hear me with spiritual ears. He passed by what he planned to get to what God purposed. So he passes by Mysia. See ya. And goes to Troas, where he waits in confusion. But he's chained to grace. And he waits because he knows that if God says no, I won't remove it, the obstacle, the thorn. I will give you a grace that is greater so that you can overcome it. It's a no-go. It's not over. It's a greater opportunity. Because while Paul was at Troas, not the place he planned, the place God purposed, he saw a vision in the night. And this vision, it wasn't a vision of God, it was a vision of a man from Macedonia. And he was standing there begging Paul, come over to Macedonia and help us. And God didn't show up looking like an angel. God showed up looking like a need. And God might be speaking to you about your next season in the context of the need that's standing right in front of you. I feel that so deep for somebody, man, because they're just about to go home. Just go home, it's over. That's what the enemy has been telling you. Just quit trying to be free. Just quit trying, just give it, this is just who you are. No, I'm loved by God, that's who I am. And he's a good father. And if he says no, there's something that he knows that I don't know. And that's what makes him God. And that's why I worship him and I serve him. He doesn't serve me. Hey, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream. And share this video with a friend. And don't forget, you can join me live every Sunday. Thanks again for watching.